And welcome to the Everyday Board Games Podcast. This is your host, Daniel. I have a special guest with me.
Gamehead Geek.
What we're going to be doing this time, as promised, we're back ending our top 100, or as I call it, our greatest games. And he's going to be going through his top 100. Today's episode is going to be 100 through 76, and I'm going to be reacting to it. If you haven't heard already, but Damn It Dom, myself, and Daniel too have all done our top 100 back ends. This is to finish off everything we did, because as a group, in the month of February, we recorded 50 through 1 in 5 different episodes for you to listen. As promised, here's the back end of things for bonus episodes per se. So with that being said, let's get into it. What is your number 100?
My 100 is Anachrony. It is a great worker placement game. Unfortunately, this one is kind of... I don't want to say super low, but it's low in like the 100 scheme as being the last one. Mm-hmm. Only for the sheer fact that there's just so much stuff. And that is a big table hog, time eater. I mean, it's not as bad as like Twilight Imperium, but it will take you at least a good 3 hours with a 4-player count or more for that game.
Yeah, this is not like our Wednesday game night game. This is an all-day gaming kind of thing.
Yeah, this is all-day gaming, and this is like, hey, let's play this first, and then we'll just do a whole bunch of other stuff afterwards.
Yeah, it's one of those games. I get it. I like the game enough, but it just didn't crack my top 100.
Yeah, and again, I think the reason it's in my top 100, again, it's a worker placement, and I love worker placement games. So, my number 99. Now, do you want to say 99? Do you want me to say 99?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. I actually get to do something fun. All right. 99 is The Siege of Rundar.
Wow.
I like this one because I played this solo quite a bit when I was really heavy into TikTok and stuff like that. I used to do a couple lives where I would play this solo, and it is a fun game. I still need to play this. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've actually played this with other people. It has always just been me playing it. But I love...
Didn't you play it with our group?
No, because you guys played it and you're like, oh, you really need to get this game. And I was like, oh, I do. And after I got it, I was like, oh man, this is... it. The only thing I don't like about the game is the box size, because if you've seen the game, you're pretty much in like a castle fort and you're using the box.
Yeah.
And each room has like different places that you can go to like fix the wall or escape out at the end of the game. But I mean, it is a fun game. It is a great cooperative game that I've heard of, because I mean, I know they've played it, but I've only played this solo and I love it solo. It is challenging solo, but it is fun.
Yeah, I've been checking Daniel 2's top 100 because I have his list right here. But I don't know. I thought it was a crossover with him, and I might be missing it. But I know he loves this game.
Yeah.
This is one of the games he adores a lot.
Yeah. And he's actually the one where you need to get this, Bryce. You'll love it. And
yeah,
I did. I mean, it's
a
great game.
My thing is, like, I'm one of the least of the Reiner Knizia fans, and there are some games that hit for me, and this is one of them that did hit. It's no Mille Fiori by any means, but I do like this one. And your number 98.
98 is King of New York. Again, I like King of Tokyo a lot. As a matter of fact, Danny, is he 2 or 1?
He's 2.
He's 2.
I'm 1 because I was first.
Oh, okay. But Danny too, he actually picked me up like a booster pack, one of the Target exclusive ones was on clearance. But I like this. I like collecting the little monsters for it. I picked up King of New York. One, because when it first came out, everybody said, hey, this is the board gamers version of King of Tokyo, because everybody thought it was just too simplistic of that Yahtzee, which is funny because now after, it's been over 10 years.
Something like that, yeah.
That King of New York or King of Tokyo still like reigns supreme on BGG. So I like it. I like the fact that you can blow stuff up and get extra stuff like jets, ships, that type of stuff.
Yeah, when we go into our gamer criteria, one of the memorable moments thing for game immersion, for me with this game was the fact that we all died because the freaking army blew us out of New York.
The army just came and wiped us all out. I remember that. That was
some fun shenanigans. But I honestly, I'm with the crowd. I loved it when it came out. but I'm going more and more to like King of Tokyo or King of
Yeah.
Monster Island, the co-op version, because they're much more simpler and much more more to get involved. They don't go too crazy because there's a lot of rules in King of New York.
King of New York did add so much to the point it was like, I think you might have taken it one step too far. And again, that's why it's lower on my list than say King of Tokyo, but it's still a great game. If you can find it, I would suggest it if you like that King of series.
Yeah.
My number 97 is Skate Summer. This is a Pandasaurus game. I love this game due to the push your luck aspect as you're trying to pull off this cool trick. And you're like, oh man, I can do this. I'm going to get so many points for this. And you might skate too far to the left, but if you can pull it back and get yourself all the way back to the right, you can pull off a pretty cool trick. And it brought up some nostalgic for me because I remember playing Tony Hawk. And as you're playing this through the map, you're gathering spray paint cans, I think it is, and letters to spell skate. I mean, just everything that you remember playing as like video games was all kind of put into this. So that was my number 97 is Skate Summer.
I think mine, Skate Summer, actually fell off my list. Yep. It was 68 last year. It just fell off. It's 106 now.
106.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty low on mine, but it's still a great game.
And I think it's because I haven't really played it much since the 2 or 3 times we played that summer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
my number 96 is the one that I keep panic-wise in my collection, and I'm never going to get rid of. I kind of wish they would have come out with, I don't know, a plastic version. But mine is Star Trek Panic. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Castle Panic, and I really wanted to go in on that big, huge, massive wood collection that they just did, but
yeah.
Star Trek Panic, I mean, there's not a lot of great Star Trek games out there to begin with, so when they did this, and you could do, like, a 5-year voyage, you could do the trebles, you could do all sorts, and it's all the old Star Trek, but you blow up your ship and there's fires coming out of your ship and everything like that. Like I said, I think it would have been cool if you could like either 3D print or do something to manipulate it to be set up, but that ship in the middle and how it rotates and turns and moves away from ships, everything, it just added a nice little extra detail in there.
Yeah, no, I do like this one a lot. I actually own both Castle Panic and Star Trek Panic. Out of the two that I would end up keeping was probably Star Trek Panic.
Yeah,
I really do like that. It's funny because a couple years ago we had Justin DeWitt on the podcast and we were telling him we want next generation Star Trek Panic because that's the generation I grew up with. So I want them to fight the Borg and stuff like that.
That would be awesome.
That would be so good. I know they made an announcement. I can't remember what it was, but they're doing another Panic system with an IP on it. I want to say Ninja Turtles, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right because I think I posted about that and I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me this is true.
Yeah. So, I think so, but other than that, their new one that's coming out looks pretty good. It's called Ham Helsing. And so, it's based off a graphic novel, and it's kind of like a mix with Horrified, a little bit of Pandemic, and it's got like special powers for different creatures they're going to be using. So
that might be pretty cool.
Yeah, so, your next one.
My next one is going to be... Now, this one does bring up some memories for me. It is
this?
number 95.
95.
And it is Small World.
When
we first got into gaming, because we got into gaming at the same time.
Speaking of memorable moments.
Yeah, this is a memorable moment. And this, I know he's mentioned this on the podcast. I mentioned it on TikTok. It's just one of those that he had kept beating me every single time we played games. And this is the first game I won and beat him, and I stood up and pointed straight in his face and said, I finally beat you! I felt so embarrassed afterwards, because like...
It was at the game shop.
Yeah.
When we talk about memorable moments and I give a description of something that's going to make you stand up and shout in the store and make everybody look at you, it's this guy.
Yeah, yeah, I was so embarrassed. After I did, I was like, I even apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. But just the overall, like... simplicity of just putting different, even if you just have the base game, the combinations that you can make with the factions and the powers is just it's never the same. No two games are ever the same.
Yeah, exactly. Another one of my favorite moments of this game is when we first started gaming together. We were playing this game with my wife, And you and me kept fighting over a stupid mountain as my wife just kind of wiped up the old side of it. And she had I think it was like the ghost or the specters that allowed her to still collect coins, even though they were in decline and stuff like that. And I was like, why are we fighting over this damn mountain? She's wiping the board over here.
And even when we went to Dice Tower West when Dice Tower West first started,
2019,
they had the wooden collector's edition, and we pulled that out, and everybody asked us, "Are we supposed to be playing with this?" Like, we don't know. We're just going to do it. And we literally had to take 2 folding tables and put them together because this was just
and not lengthwise. It had to it had to go side by side because it was so massive.
I actually saw one of those for sale on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and as soon as I typed in, he's like, "Dude, it's gone." I was like, I want that wooden collector's so bad.
That is a good one, yeah.
All right. That was my number 95. Yes. My number 94 is very new to the list. It was so good I bought it twice. One for $150 and the other one at regular price. As a matter of fact, it's right behind me. It is Skullville. So...
At least you didn't spend the $150.
I know. It's okay. So let me preference this just in case my wife ever listens to it. I doubt it, but just in case. We go to Bookman's all the time. I know you guys have heard about it in the podcast. And they've had a copy of Skullville from
Tasty
Minstrel sitting on their shelves for I mean we've gone like multiple times, and every time I look at it I'm like, no, I don't want to put any extra money in this. Well, finally I had gotten enough store credit that I could outright buy it, and I did. And as soon as we got home, this person right here says, "Oh, hey, they're reprinting that."
No.
Yes.
No, it was a couple weeks afterwards because I saw the fact that they were reprinting it at the Gamma Expo.
Anyways, as soon as I spent the money on this, they said they're doing a reprint. But it is a great game.
Very uncolorblind friendly, the Taster Minstrel version. The new version by Trick or Treat Studios did a fantastic job on it. But it's funny because I'm mentioning it and stuff like that. Don't be saying it was a couple days later. I'm like, no.
In my head, it was a couple days.
Because you bought it in January, because that's normally when we do our Bookman's run.
Yeah.
And me, Dammit Dom, and Daniel too went to the Gamma Expo in Louisville in March. I think it was like the beginning of March. And I sent you a picture, and you're like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, it was just could have just waited. But I own it twice. That's how good it is. That is Skullville, and I guess let me preface this because we talked about that just whole situation. But the fact is, you're going through making different chilies and then planting them, and trying to build those combinations before somebody else it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It's super simplistic. Definitely could be a family game or a starter game or even next step. And I'm glad that it does have a reprint because when it first came out, it went like that and you could never find a copy again.
Yeah, and my issue with the original print, the Tasty Metro one, yeah, it went pretty good. And where we live, we're all about the Skullvilles because we have like the hottest pepper on record built at our university.
Green chilies.
Yeah, and our state motto is green or red.
Yep.
And that's because we're the chili capital of the world in a sense. Hatch green chili is like one of the most famous green chilies out there. But what's funny about Skullville is the most uncolorblind friendly. You know what they did to help us with the colorblindness? They're like, oh, they're just larger than the other one. So the ghost pepper's like all the way up here and the little brown peppers are like this. And I'm like, that does me no good when I'm looking at the board. I can't really tell the height difference.
Yeah, because it's not like something you would see, because it wasn't like they got bigger as in this. They got taller. And so if you're sitting at a certain angle, you can't tell the height difference from this one to that one.
Yeah, especially
so unless you're going like this.
Getting down at the table level, like, which one is taller?
Yeah, so... It was, in theory, it made sense to somebody, but it didn't pan out well.
Yeah, but that's a good pick.
All right, so number 93. This is actually very brand new to me, but I have played it a ton since I've gotten it, and that is Flip 7.
Oh, man, I love this one. It didn't make my top 100, but I do enjoy it a lot.
After playing it here, I've played it with my wife. It's a game that you could take with you. Go out to coffee, play it. I mean, it's a fun game. Even my kids can play it because it's simple. Mm-hmm. Push your luck. Numbers can't match up. I mean, it's great. So
me and Daniel too were talking about this game. What I like most about it is you're playing through rounds because it's the first, I think, 200 points or something like that. But you play through rounds and you don't reshuffle everything. You basically discard what's coming up. So you're like, okay, there's a lot of 12s in that discard pile,
Yeah.
but
I can play. I mean, I've seen so many.
yeah.
So it's really just trying to keep that memory in it, especially when you get close to the end of that deck. It's like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any ones. Or not ones, but like threes.
Yeah.
You're like, I haven't seen any threes. And then you're, wait, no, that was the last three. Son of a gun. So.
Yeah, no, but it's a good one. I like that one a lot.
My number 92 is Tidal Blade's Banner Festival.
Oh, that's a crossover.
Is it?
I think
Dom?
it was no, mine. I think Damn It Dom had it as well. But
I was about to say, because Dom's the one that introduced it to us.
Yeah, I do have it on mine as well. In fact, I think it was like my top 50s, I think. But go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, so, I mean, this was a great game. I love the whole, you'd call it a rondelle, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly. I mean, but just going through...
You're going through a track. So.
Yeah, you're going through your track, but you're going through and trying to collect and those little discs to be like area control-ish in those areas. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it gets very cutthroat at some of those points too, because if you land there first, you can get up quite a bit, where if you're there second, you can sneak in, or someone can sneak in right after you. I don't know. It was just the overall concept was so great. And it was one of those that I think I liked it a lot more too, because we had just got done playing Tidal Blades, the game, the first one. And I thought this was an improvement, even though I know they're not at all completely the same.
They share the theme.
The theme is there. So, like, in the theme world that they were in, I liked this one.
No, I do enjoy this one. This was actually my number 78. I do enjoy it a lot because of that fact that you're playing high-low. But even if you don't win the high or that kind of thing, you're still going to get a power.
Yeah.
And it all depends on where you're at. If I'm in the middle of the road and you're, say, playing a 4-player game, 2 people take that same action. Whoever played the highest gets that high action. Whoever takes the lowest gets the lowest action. So I really like that aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
So I still get something even though I don't win, per se, the round.
So, that was my number 92. My 91 is called, and I actually had to rethink this, and I'm sorry. It's called Terra in Meeple City. That's not how I know it.
You know it is Rampage.
I know it is Rampage, and my copy says Rampage.
Almost got a copy of Rampage at Bookman's most recently.
Did you?
Almost. I'm like, I have issues with that game nowadays because of the spittle thing.
I guess. I mean, yeah. COVID has kind of changed that, but when this game first came out...
Well, even then I found that gross, but it's more now.
I mean, but it's not like cupcakes or cake where people go blow their cakes, and you're just like, oh, I'm eating a piece of cake that a 2-year-old just spit over. Anyways, besides the point, this used to be called Rampage, and this game either works really, really well when you're playing it, or it's really, really difficult. And I say that for you were 4 monsters trying to eat meeples. And all the meeples are very different colors, and there are certain tracks that you can go up to get like bonus cards, extra teeth, that type of stuff. And honestly, if you ever have the copy of this game, I don't know if it's still the same as it is on mine, but there's like Ninja Turtles in there, there's a bat signal in there, there's all these little hidden Easter eggs hidden inside of it. But you literally are building these buildings up with meeples holding all the supports, and then you will take your monster and they will throw cars through the building, they will drop on top of the building. Like he said, you can blow stuff off. I think it's called Dragon Breath, where you put your disc and
On
you
top
blow
of
it.
it,
Yeah, and you blow it off of.
Nope. Mm-mm.
So the downside with this game, and where I don't think it gets played as much anymore for me, but I still love it, is sometimes those meeples can get stuck in spots where it's really tough to get the pieces to move to get out of the way, because the meeple has to be completely uncovered for you able to get it.
Yeah, no, I do like the game, don't get me wrong, but that the spittle thing is one thing that bothers me. The thing about it too is, like, I'm buying a used copy of it, so it's
okay, I can see that now that you say that, because the used copy thing.
It's like Lysol the whole.
Just clean wipe that all. But see, I bought my copy brand new from a store, so it only has my spittle and my friend's spittle, so I'm okay with that.
Also, Terra Maple City, what you can buy now, and it's funny because you're talking about how like it changed the name and it has all these little Easter eggs. They had to change the name because of the name Rampage. They got sued by the...
No, I know that, but that's why I was wondering, because they had that issue, if there was other issues, because literally, like,
I only heard about the fact of the name. Other than that, I haven't heard any of the issues with like the Captain America shield and the...
Because it's done by Repo Games?
Space Cowboys, I believe.
Is it Space Cowboys now?
I believe it's Space Cowboys.
Oh, okay. Because on my copy, there's even like a cash and guns sitting on the table. All sorts of stuff.
It could be Repos, but I'm going to check. But go ahead into your next one.
All right, so my next one is number 90. I'm surprised this isn't a little bit higher. I know something's going to beat it out as soon as it comes in from Kickstarter, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shadows of the Past.
Is that the Kevin Wilson one? The one where it comes in the big pizza box?
Yes, there was the this was still done by IDW when they had their game studio.
Yeah. So it was Repos, and Space Cowboys do have it now, too.
Okay. So, but with Ninja Turtles... It was a great game. Again, something that killed me inside, and I think they changed it when they did like the expansion for it. It wasn't really expansion. It was another standalone that you could incorporate everything. This was a one verse mini. I'm not a huge fan of one verse minis, at least in this sense. I wish it would have had like a solo portion. It does now, but when I bought it, it didn't. But what was great about this is that you were acting as the Ninja Turtles, and in this it really did prove that you were doing teamwork, because you would roll dice, and how you placed them in front of your player board is how they would be used. So you got to use all of your dice, but the 2 dice on the ends, your brothers or your other players would then be able to use that dice. Mm-hmm. So that was a really cool concept. Shredder then whoever played as Shredder would then control all the minions and everything like that. Yep. But I just love that overall concept of, yes, we are the Ninja Turtles, and yes, our fighting style is helping each other out, because we know if one of us can't take out this one person, it's always like jumping off each other's backs, or, I mean, you've watched the shows, you've watched the cartoons, they're flinging each other, they're jumping on each other's back, flipping over each other. This really did bring it into life. So,
my favorite Ninja Turtle run was when they teamed up with Batman.
Heck yeah.
that was such a good one. Plus the animated movie on it too is really good.
Yeah.
So.
As soon as that came out, animated movie, Beckham was like, I need that. So we instantly got that.
Same.
All right. My 89 is going to be Dune Imperium. This one probably could have been a little bit higher, because this is one of those... Let's put a bunch of really big stuff into one game. This had work replacement, deck building, area control. I think Arnax does it a little bit better in my personal opinion, so that's why I think that one was higher in my list, if I remember correctly.
I believe so. I think it was higher on everybody's list.
Yeah, I want to say it was in my top 50, because I know we've already talked about it. But Dune Imperium, I love this game. I love the IP, because I'm a huge Dune fan. Not so much of the movie that just came out personally, but that's a whole different...
I still haven't watched the second movie.
Yeah, it's still a whole different subject there. But I honestly think this game was great. I've never even played any of the expansions, and I know you have them. But...
I still haven't played them. It's going to be one of my picks one of these days.
But... Yeah, so it's one of those... It was a great game. There is a lot. It is definitely, if you pick this up, expect to get the enjoyment out of it within... no less than like 3 plays.
Yeah, and the big thing about this one too, it was on my list as well, so another crossover. I had it at 87, so this game at one point was in my top 10.
Yeah.
And it just keeps free-falling, and I mentioned it on our podcast, and the reason why Lost Ruins of Arnak is really... The reason why I picked this one over Lost Ruins of Arnak originally is because you had the asymmetry, so you had your player characters. When Lost Ruins of Arnak added that expansion that gave you that asymmetry, it skyrocketed.
Yep. Yeah, and so it's just one of those that it's a great game. It was a good IP. It's there, and I own it. As a matter of fact, I think you gave it to me for Christmas.
I believe so.
As one of my gifts.
Yeah.
So, a great game. There's some other things I think have now outdone it, but it's still definitely worth what it is.
All right, next one.
88. Now, this game, especially because we're going from Doom and Imperium to something like this... It's Dragonwood. It is
so different.
I know, and it's super basic. But this is a game that I have played. My wife loves this game. Anytime if I can get her to play games with me, this is usually one of the first games she'll mention is Let's Play Dragonwood. pretty much what you're doing is you're going into the dark forest and you're trying to kill one of two dragons. When the first dragon dies, the game ends.
You got to kill both.
You do have to kill both? Yeah. Okay. But, again, it's got that simple Yahtzee mechanic where you're trying... Well, yeah. But, I mean, to the point,
it's more...
but you get a couple rolls in there.
Nope, you get one roll.
Is it only one roll?
It's one roll.
It is one roll.
It's based on your card play that you're trying to hit. So
that's what it is.
You either get it all set where you're either stopping, shouting, or screaming, and they do different things, like all of one color, all of one number, one of a straight.
Yeah, that's what it is. Nope, sorry about that. Yes. I remember the card play in there and the dice. Again, like I said, this does get played quite a bit. It hasn't in a little bit just because our kids are now finally getting in that age where I think I can actually... As a matter of fact, I might introduce this one to them tonight. But Dragonwood is going to be my number 88.
Yeah, it's actually not that far from mine. I had it at number 79. It's still one for me that hits the table not as frequently, but it's also a good traveling game because I can keep it in one of those photo cases, take it on the road. We played this on our cruise. I'm probably going to take it with us to Orlando later this year. So it hits pretty well.
Yeah, it does. And again, I have it in my photo case as well. I think that's what makes it so nice is those are just so easy to pack.
So portable, yeah.
My number 87 is Teotihuacan.
City of Gods.
Yep.
Another crossover, I believe.
I would hope so. I mean, you just upped this one, didn't you? You went to...
Yeah.
Actually,
no. I think it fell off.
Did it?
Think so, yeah. I'm going to check that real quick.
This is a rondelle.
A really complicated one.
It is, but I honestly, when he first pulled it out onto the board, I was like, man, this is going to be super complicated. Once you really start to know all the positions, it's pretty easy to get through. It's just that at first initial playthrough, I feel like requires it, but the fact that you're building up that step pyramid and trying to get extra like bonuses and stuff like that through there,
it did fall off.
It's just I honestly think it's a great game.
It's fantastic. It's just lack of plays. That's why I fell off mine.
Yeah,
I like everything about it so much so I did get the upgraded set of it. So it's just it doesn't get the table. It's again what we're talking about with Anachrony. It's one of those games that has to be an all-day gaming thing rather than a game night, or that's the only game you're playing that game night.
But I will say this: it doesn't feel long when you play that game.
No, you're concentrating in it.
Where I feel like Anachrony sometimes can feel a little long.
Yes, especially when you're playing the 2-player version of Anachrony. I agree with you on that.
I'm sorry, I keep looking at my list here, and it's funny how I'm going from like a really heavy game
to
a really super light game. So this is another super light game. This is 86. This is Trapper Keeper. Super fucking light. I
like the game. I honestly, it was nowhere near my top 100.
I mean, again, this is something that gets played quite a bit. You are doing set collection, and you're doing it depending on how you place it in your folder. So, I know one time I played this, and I thought I was placing it in the right spot, and then I thought about it, I was like, nope, I was doing something else, and that was on the card. And so then I like completely effed up my points because of that. But the fact that it comes in a Trapper Keeper, and that a lot of the things that you are... Again, this is nostalgic, so for people our age, maybe 30s or older, would really get to like this, because like there's the S's that everybody used to draw when they were kids.
Yeah.
The notes and everything like that. Like, it... I don't know, it brings back a lot, and it's a nice little set collection game that you can pull out at any point.
And then Trapper Keeper was the status symbol, too, so if you didn't have a Trapper Keeper, you had one of those knockoffs. You got picked on, I guess.
Yep.
No, but I agree, the game is fine, I like it a lot, it just didn't meet I think it was like in my top 200. It's just because I play a massive amount of games.
Well, you play more games than I do.
Oh, yeah.
And when I play games, I'm either playing either heavy games with you or light games with my other friends.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, I have no real in-between anymore.
Yeah.
85? 85. And this one...
are you going heavy again?
I wouldn't say heavy. I would call this a middle of the road. Raiders of the North Sea. It's a lot lighter than some of their other games that they've come out with. But again, it is a worker placement in the sense that it's pick one up, or put one down, pick one up.
Makes me think of that Saturday Night Live meme. I pick it up and I put it down.
This one I feel is where it's at right now because I have a couple of the expansions, and that really has improved some of that gameplay when it first came out.
I have Raiders of Scythia. I like that one just base to base, honestly, because it incorporates some of the expansions.
And I know that was kind of the that killer for it because it came with those expansions.
Some of them incorporates some of it, but not everything. It's funny because I made that same joke on our top 100, the back ends of with Damn It Dom. Daniel too did not know what we were talking about.
It doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, come on.
This is the guy who watches more Saturday Night Live than we do, and he didn't get that reference.
Yes, that's true. All right. My 84 is Rhino Hero. Again, it's either really heavy with me or really light. All my top one or top 50 were kind of where my mid games were because those get played quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Rhino Hero, man, I've had so much fun playing this game.
For a kid's game, this thing is fantastic.
Yes. And it's been one of those that, like, I think at one point we had to get on a stool because we
got so freaking high.
Got so high on one of the towers that we built.
And this is when you had a normal size table. I could just imagine it now with your pub table.
We'd have to turn off the fan for sure. So in this game, you are playing as a character Rhino. Or you're not playing as a character, but you're building up this tower with these cards. And if it's got certain logos on it and stuff like that, you can't. Like if it's got the Rhino on it, you have to take the Rhino from wherever he was at last and place him on here
without knocking
it over. You're then taking your roof card, and your roof card then determines what the next set of cards go on top of that. And so it just keeps going. And, oh man, when you're at the top and you're shaking, like, oh God, please don't knock it over. Don't knock it over. Because the game is everyone wins. The person that knocks it over is the loser. Yeah. Like, that's how that one goes. You don't want to be the loser. You want to be the
I do like this game a lot. I really want to get the Japanese version of it, the $100 one, where it's the super massive convention one.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So you can play from the floor up.
Yep.
That would be really cool to do.
Because the cards are, I think, almost like the size of a sheet of paper. So
yeah, they're massive. They're like tarot size or even larger.
So, that is my... Where are we?
Rhino Hero.
84. 83 is Cities. This one has just recently been played for me, but I have picked it up since, and I honestly love this game. The simplicity of just trying to build up your little community, you having just a set amount of turns no matter what, like that's, you know when it's over. So trying to math that out to get your best experience, especially after, like, if you're first or third or however that gets set in, because rotation switches every round, right?
Everybody gets the pick first.
Yes. So it's an awesome concept, and I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot better than a game that I think has fallen off on it's not on my 100 anymore, which was, what's the one with the different towers? It has a very similar feel. They're not identical.
Different towers.
You're
describing games like my wife.
I know, I'm sorry. It actually had little standees that you had to put together. And they had different, like, one would be made out of glass, the other one was made out of plants. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
I know.
Who do you know the designer?
Danny too would know.
Oh yeah, he would. Because that dude's an encyclopedia to board games.
Just saying.
He's a designer. He has to know all this stuff.
I'll look it up. I'll tell you later, and you can bring it up. But it's one of those that I feel like this was done way better. Again, this is Phil Walker Harding,
yep.
Which, again...
Phil Walker Harding and a co-designer, Steve Finn.
Yeah. But for me, it was just one of those... Anyways, yes, great game.
It's a good game. It didn't make my top 100, just for the fact I want to play it more before I make that decision.
Yeah.
But I do like it. It's easy to get to the table. I like the modularity of it, depending on which city you're playing in. So, yeah, pretty good.
My number 82 is Istanbul, the Big Box.
Or Istanbul in general.
Yeah, Istanbul in general, but...
You're welcome, by the way.
I know. This is his fault. He's like, Bryce, you gotta try this. And so we tried it, and I was like... God damn it. Now I need it.
It's such a simple game.
It is a simple game. It's super easy. And I love that there's more tiles in there that I haven't played yet
Mm-hmm.
that allow me to keep this game. I mean, granted, this is the big box, but still.
The big box is basically, it just adds the 2 expansions into one box.
One.
It doesn't really need that massive of a box. In
No.
fact, I think the big box is a regular size box.
And it's one of those two that I think now it's easier to find the big box than it is the original base game by itself. So if you're out there looking, it's definitely worth your time. But just that movement of going places and then like a little small pick up deliver
race game is so like we did a board game brainstorm of Istanbul.
Uh-huh.
It is so hard to give recommendations on a game that is so unique. It is pick up and deliver in a sense. It is a race game. It could be gambling because you're rolling dice depending on that if you're at that location. It is just a little bit of take that by like I'm going to capture your guy and put it in prison type thing. So it's so unique that it's a fantastic game. In fact, this is a crossover. I like it more than you because it was in my top 25.
Yeah, I remember you bringing it up. And when you said that, I was like, ooh, I get to talk about this when we get down to my lower numbers. Because I know there was a few in here that...
It was actually my number 20.
Was it?
Yep.
So my number 81 is Clank. A deck building adventure. So, I like this game. What do you...
Nothing?
Okay. So I like Clank. Again, it's deck building. I like that aspect of kind of building up that deck, cleaning out the cards you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
I really do want to try Catacombs because I know it.
That's the one I do want to try because it got rid of the run and gun.
Yes, and I also have Clank in Space, which I have yet to play. Maybe actually I might bring that over tomorrow since but it I don't know. I never had this issue. I could see it being an issue.
Yes, you did have the issue with the run and gun. We got our butts kicked by Aaron by running and gunning.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We did have that one time. But it doesn't happen that often.
It's happened to me 3 times on that base game.
Okay, well, it's only happened to me once. Where someone just goes in to grab the treasure and then they're out.
And then collapses the cave on us.
Yes.
So that was my big issue. That's why I think in Space and I believe in newer printings of it and the Catacombs get rid of that run and gun because it happened to me like 3 times. I played it twice at a convention, the one time with you and Aaron, and I'm like, I'm done with this game. Don't want nothing to do with it because of that reason. I get why you guys like it. I love the deck building aspect.
Yeah.
I love the exploration aspect of it. But that run and gun just puts a sour taste in my mouth.
But that's also kind of why I like the Catacombs too, because looking at it, you are flipping tiles to then go into it. Where when you play again,
regular Clank,
everything's already kind of you can see everything. The thing that gets you is when you're trying to get out of those bigger tunnels because it takes you X amount of turns to get out of there. You can't just do it in one go.
Another good version of Clank that's not Clank is the Hunger, the vampire game. That one's really neat. I like that one. I don't know if I still own it, but it's the...
I still, actually, I think I own it.
Yeah.
I do, because we played it.
Yeah, we played it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that one's not on my list only for the sheer fact I've only played it once.
Yeah.
And it was only just me and you. I think it would be better at 4.
It's better at 4. Another thing I like about it, too, is that it does something very unique when it comes to deck building. You kind of want to shed your deck. You eat certain characters, which kills your deck and slows you down. Yeah, I like that.
I remember, those...
But the Clank is fine. But like I said, the run and gun is my issue.
Makes sense.
Your next one?
Number 80. For Sale.
Honestly, Clank wasn't that heavy of a game.
It's not. And For Sale is a great game. Again, this fits in a photo-sized box.
Speaking of which, I just got myself a copy this most recent Christmas. My wife got me a copy for Christmas.
For Sale?
Yeah.
So, it's great because you are trying to... If I remember correctly, you're buying them... It's been a while since I played this book.
It's a bidding game where you're using your money to buy housing.
And then you're selling
the houses to buy victory points.
Yep. So, but it's that nice little combo of like, okay, I'm going to try to get all these, and at the end try to sell them back to get my points out of it. It's super quick, simple, easy. When I first picked up this game, it got a lot of plays.
I also like the close economy where like whatever the winner spends goes to the other players. Yeah. I like that aspect of it too.
So you're just like, ooh, I'll let them have this. That way I can get some money so I can get back onto the next one.
Yeah, exactly. No, so it is fun. Everybody's going to get something whether you want it or not. Sometimes that pull where it's like, wow, these are like the first and third or like $300 off, so I'm okay with whatever I get out of this. So,
and I'm looking at my list right now. I think, hold on, give me a second, because I think this might have actually been put in here twice.
Which the next one?
It's unmatched.
You might have split the.
I think I split them.
The Tales of the Maze in the base game.
I did, because Dom was like, "No, I kept everything as one combo."
That was me. I kept it as one combo.
Okay. Yeah. So my number 79 is unmatched. The actual like head-to-head aspect of the competitive game, not the cooperative one.
Yeah.
Because the cooperative one was much higher on my list. It was in my top 50. But I still think that the head-to-head is a lot of fun too. It's a great 2-player, but it even plays really good at 4 players. I do feel bad though if you were with me and I used up all my special abilities and trashed all my other cards. I'm sorry. But overall, it is a lot of fun, and the different IPs that are in there, it's just fun to see like head to head what would win. I want more stuff to come out for this. Ninja Turtles is also coming out for this. I'm waiting for that, but I want other stuff to come out for this.
They also announced Volume 3, Battle of Legends Volume 3.
I did see that one.
I have that pre-ordered. I have everything for this game, so I like it. I kept it all together because I knew both of them would be in the top 10 because that's how much I love the system. I love the competitive. I think that would have probably been the back end of the top 10. And Tales of the Maze is just going to go to where it ended up landing. So I just got, I'm like, screw it. I'm going to combine them. I'll use Tales of the Maze because that's the one I teach people with. This way they can use the card and not being stressed out of playing against someone who is knows the system a lot better. Yeah,
because that is tough. Anytime it's a head-to-head game, it's always tough to be like, here's what you do. Now let me kick your butt while I'm teaching you this.
Another reason I like the Tales of the Maze, too, on that aspect of it is because... I like the fact that that's way I learned my new sets too. So most recently, we played it on our all-day gaming after everybody left. Me and Dom played on Tales of the Maze, and we got to play. I played The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, and he played Shakespeare. So we got to learn how those things worked, and then he got to play the Ancient Lesson, and I played Oda Nobunaga, which was really cool. So the sets that I don't get to play, that's the best way to play it against these characters. And I realized there's still like 4 sets I haven't played. So
I still need to get the upgrade pack from them for the moth and the alien.
Like I just recently picked up the Buffy set for you. What are you still missing?
So I have Buffy. I have all the Jurassic Park.
I got you a Cobble and Fog as well.
Yep, I have a Cobble and Fog. I am missing 2 of the packs from the Marvel one. I think I'm missing the Spider-Man one.
Brawl, Brains and Brawl.
Because it's and then I'm missing,
King and Country or Teen. No, you got Teen Spirit.
King and Country, I think is the.
That's the one with Black Widow and Black Panther.
No, there's another one. Isn't there 4 sets for Marvel?
Yeah, there's the one, the Brain and Brawn, the Teen Spirit, the Ghost Rider set. That's Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, I have Hell's Kitchen.
And then there's one other. So King and Country.
And I think, you know what? I think you're right. I think he is King and Country. So that's the other one I'm missing. And then the Witcher stuff, which that just came out.
That just came out. So you can still find those
I can still find that easily enough. So.
All right, give me a list of what you need. Me and Daniel, too, are planning to do some stuff around local game stores in New Mexico. And I'll keep an eye out for you.
If you can find Deadpool. I know that's the tough one.
That's the tough one.
That's the cherry on top of Ultimate Let's Find Something.
Yeah.
But I played the Deadpool, and after playing it, I was like, man, I saw this so many times, and I never picked it up. Only for the sheer... I'm sorry. It's still part of Unmatched. But there is a card in his deck that I had as a little kid growing up, because they used to have the Marvel trading game, or trading cards.
Yep.
And I had that card, and it's one of his cards that you could play. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I fucking should have bought this.
I used to have all the Upper Deck X-Men games. I used to buy the X-Men toys just for the Upper Deck cards.
Yep. All right, so that's Unmatched. My 78, I love this game. I know some people don't, and some people get bored with it. I wish they would do some updated questions now, but is Wits and Wagers. The last version I think they came out with was Vegas, and that was a Kickstarter, which I backed because I love this game significantly. And I think they finally have released it into Kmart and Walmart, Target, that type of stuff. But it is... What's great about this game is you don't have to know the correct answer. You just have to be Price is Right, better than the person above you. And then you have to guess to make sure that you're right.
And not just that, you can gamble too. It's like, I don't think I'm right, but I think this one is.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much fun, and you just sit there and bet, and you can do 2 bets, and if you want to get really gambly, any extra tokens that you have, you can place with your 2 bets to double your odds. And I've had some people at the very end of the game just like, you know what, I don't have that much, I'm just putting everything here, and they'll end up winning because it's like the odds on it were like 2 or what?
5 to 1.
5 to 1, and they put like everything they had on it. So, Wits and Wagers... The Vegas edition, like I said, I know they have a cheap version at Target and Walmart.
This one has really fallen hard for me, and it's just because I don't play massive party games anymore because I don't get around a lot of people. I think the most I play games nowadays is 4 players.
And for me, it's great when it comes to family members are coming over, that type of stuff. That's why this one I think has still stayed strong for me.
Yeah,
my parents don't like to play a lot of games, but this is something if we pull out, they'll stay and play. My nephews can play this. My kids can play this because they're just guessing numbers and what they think. So
no, I don't disagree. It's just like...
No, I understand, yeah.
I don't hang out with my family, so...
Yeah. 77 for me is... We're only 2 away. We're almost done.
You got one more after this one.
I know. 77 is Mysterium.
Oh, that's a good one.
This... If you've ever played Dixit... I almost want to say this is like the gamer version of Dixit, but it's not that even tougher. Like, you could teach this to anybody. But it just gives that one little extra thing that I think Dixit kind of needs sometimes after you've played it a little bit, where you're just like, ooh, that next step. And I think this is it. What you're doing is someone plays as a ghost. Everybody has different things that they're trying to find, and it's kind of like a Clue. It's Clue. And this ghost is trying to give out hints without talking or doing anything. And it's funny to see how people think when they look at a picture versus how somebody else thinks when they look at the exact same picture. Because you could be like, oh man, this card is super blue. Man, the bad guy had really blue hair. And then they look at him like, wow, that door. Well, this person would carry keys, so it might be like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I said. And so it's funny how that median works in between there. I do want to get the...
the smaller version of
Mysterium Park. Just because, it just adds more into there. Because I did try their other version. Obscurio.
Oh, I can't stand that one.
So, I played it once because my other buddy bought it.
Yeah.
And... my wife and I were playing. He was playing as a person giving out cards. And he knew who the betrayer was, which was me. And I looked my wife dead in the eye and I was like, babe, of all the times that you've ever thought it was me, can you just once believe me? It is not me. It is your friend. Because they were already going hard against, like, as soon as the game started, it's already going to be me. Which I was like, well, son of a bitch. And I looked her in the eye. I could only play this card once. And I did it at that turn. And... as soon as it happened and she said yes and she voted or she told her that you're the betrayer, my other friend that owned the game was just like, I can't believe you just did that and I can't believe that worked. That's never going to work again and she'll never trust you again because I was the betrayer.
Yeah.
When I flipped that card over, whoo!
Yeah, my thing is like, you already made a great game. Why do you have to have a hidden traitor in it?
I know.
And so I prefer Mysterium. It was actually a crossover for me. It was number 55. So right now we have 5.5 crossovers just on this list.
Nice.
And I'm counting on match as half because I put mine together.
Yeah.
So. No, Mysterium is a fantastic game. I agree with everything you said. Talk about memorable moments.
Oh, every time. every time.
I will say this about Mysterium Park. It takes my least favorite part of Mysterium out of the game. And it's that very last part of it where everybody can only look at a certain amount of clues. It's basically the ghost will decide out of the 3 there which one it actually was. So and so when it happens, you guess that part. You don't look at clues. It's just like, here's the clues to what this does. It basically takes that final step out, which I couldn't stand because like I could have played very well as we're going through the game,
Yeah.
and still lose because of a vote.
Yeah. Yep. And I've seen that happen before too, because this game got played quite a bit.
Yeah, we still play it. It's like one of our favorite go-to Halloween games.
Yeah. All right, my last one for today is 76 Dinosaur Island Rollin' Right.
Oh,
Roarin' Right. So when I got this was definitely a game that I had played Dinosaur Island. I have Dinosaur World, which I love that worker placement. But this one was fun because I could play this by myself. I could play this. I was playing this with friends on TikTok through lives because they had their own copy. Shoot, sometimes they wouldn't even have to have their own copy. They just had to have the piece of paper. And then I would just roll the dice and then they could tell me what they wanted to keep or not.
Yeah.
So this is just a great roll and write game. And what you're doing is you're literally building a park out with what you get through your dice and dinosaurs and that type of stuff. And trying to get to like certain exits to get bonus points or do certain like have certain dinosaur pins in your park to get bonuses. So overall, just a great roll and write game.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I think I own it. I think I got it from the Gamma Expo last year. But no, it's enjoyable. I just need to play it more. I haven't played it in a while. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. We're going to have another episode for it sometime pretty soon. If you ever want to get in contact with us, you can. We have an email. It is everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. As well as we have Instagram, everydayboardgames at Instagram. That's how you find us. That's where we showcase pictures and do little shorts and stuff like that. All video re-uploads and reviews are found on youtube.com/@everydayboardgames. If you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on the platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject. As well as we record all our podcasts live over at Twitch, twitch.tv/@everydayboardgames. So join us and talk to us in our chat. As well as all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast, including Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple. With that being said, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I'm Gamehead Geek.
And we want to thank you for joining us for our podcast and our top 100 of your greatest games of all time. With that being said, every day is a good day for board gaming.